Okay, let's do this. We're breaking down American Horror Story Delicate episode 2. Sorry for the wait, but I'm going to try to fit this all in one part. Let's get into it. The episode is called Rockabye, and the opening scene starts with the cops at Anna and Dexter's house. Anna's telling them there was a woman in her house while her husband was out getting the dog food. But they review camera footage and cops don't see any strange women entering or exiting the building. The cops suggest that maybe someone played a prank on Anna since their dog didn't bark when the stranger was in the house, and she gets upset. They ask her how she got lipstick on her hands. Anna says she doesn't know because it was all a blur. They also suggest that maybe the medication she's been on has her confused, and Dex steps in defending his wife, saying Anna is not making this up. The next day, Anna is walking to work and sees this strange woman again, played by Cara Delevingne. But then in the blink of an eye, she's gone, and there's a baby who's wearing the same exact outfit with a lollipop. Anna gets to her office and notices a zit in her compact mirror. She's looking at herself, but then glances up and sees a camera. She's in like the lobby way of her office, so she kind of stops and enters the office to see that her publicist Saban and everyone who works for her is surprising her. She's received a Gotham Award nomination. Saban says, let's take a picture so you can post it on Instagram. Anna tells Saban that she's trying not to use Instagram because of her stalker. Saban's like, you literally can't stop using Instagram. So Saban pulls Anna into her office and says, listen, I know what happened to you the other night is messed up, but get it together. She's like, my staff and I worked so hard for you. She even says, do you know how many BJs were given for you to get this nomination? Saban tells her this Gotham nomination is crucial because it's probably going to lead to an Oscar nomination. Then she's like, do you think Jamie Lee Curtis likes walking on carpets and being asked about being a Nepo baby? No, she doesn't. She does it because she wants an Oscar, so you need to shift your attitude. She gives Anna a wake-up call about how important this is and how her career trajectory is dependent on it. Then she tells Anna to take some B12. Anna's like, is it safe for pregnancy? And Saban says, would I do anything to hurt you? So Anna takes the B12. And she tells Saban, thank you for saving me from myself. Also, if you notice, the zit is still on her chin, and it kind of gets bigger throughout the episode. In the next scene, Anna is throwing up. It looks like blood, but it's probably the B12 that she took. But she looks in the mirror and kind of smiles because now she thinks she's pregnant. She calls the fertility clinic because she wants to talk to the doctor. The lady who answers says, hi, it's Cora. Anna says, hi, Cora, and Cora says, hi, Anna, and she's like, how did you know it was me? Then Cora says, any update on your stalker? And Anna's like, how'd you know I have a stalker? Cora says she told her yesterday when she had called to ask about what brand of pregnancy test to buy. Then Anna asks Cora about Miss Preacher, who's the creepy old lady that she saw at the fertility clinic. Cora says, don't worry about her, she's just a weird old lady. She thinks IVF is murder and drops off pamphlets every week. Anna's like, I think she's following me, and Cora says, I don't think she's capable of being your stalker, like she doesn't have the mental capacity. And she gets Dr. Hill on the phone and tell him that she had vomited, and he says to wait 14 days before she takes a pregnancy test. And he tells her she has 11 days to go. In the very next scene, Anna is looking through Instagram comments from the picture that Saban made her post. One of the comments says, watch out, Anna. She clicks on the person's profile, and they only have one picture, and it's the picture of Anna in the fertility clinic. If you remember in that scene, Anna had heard a clicking noise like a camera going off, and it sounded like maybe Miss Preacher had taken the picture of her, although she didn't see a camera. And then the username says Preacher Speaks, so like it's obviously her. Then she Googles the username and all these weird posts come up, including the picture of her in the fertility clinic, and then a post about superhumans being bred on the black market, the sinister truth behind Celtic rituals. And Dexter comes up from behind Anna, but she wasn't expecting him, so she stabs him with a knife. But then she apologizes like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. She's like, let me get you some Neosporin. But then he says, wait, take this pregnancy test with you. And Anna's like, the doctor said I have to wait 2 weeks. And the camera pans over to the calendar, and it has been 2 weeks. Even though to Anna and to the audience watching, it feels like the same day. She takes the pregnancy test, and they're so excited because Anna is pregnant. They're celebrating, hugging, kissing, and crying. But then Dex gets a call from Sonia, who is this woman right here. If you remember, she's the artist that he's working with that allegedly looks like his ex-wife. Anna's like, why is she calling you? He says they're talking about some pop-up show in the Hamptons and that they've been playing phone tag. And he's like, do you mind? Then he kisses Anna and takes the phone call. Bro, you could have called her back. They meet Dr. Hill at the fertility clinic, and there is a heartbeat. They do their first ultrasound. Dex asks the doctor how they can make sure everything goes smoothly, and creepy Dr. Hill says there's no real recipe, but just make sure you're exercising and eating healthy. Most importantly, avoid any stress, and it gets all like tense and weird. Saban is so excited to learn that Anna is pregnant. She's like, oh my gosh, this is going to transform our campaign for her to get an Oscar nomination. She's like, we love a beautiful baby bump draped in couture. I'm sure you do, Kim Kardashian. And Saban says she has a surprise for Anna, which is Madonna's dress from the 1991 Oscars. Anna's going to wear it to the Gotham Awards. In this scene, they're at Anna's house, and I guess Anna hasn't gone into her bedroom since the incident happened with the mirror. But Saban's like, we have to go in the bedroom. You have to see yourself in this dress. So Anna's like, F it, and don't do it, Anna, is still written on the mirror. So Saban's like, why haven't you cleaned that up yet? Anna says she tried, but it wouldn't come off. They're looking at Anna in the dress. Everything is great. They're singing and smiling. And then the mirror just cracks and they're both like, what the F? In the next scene, Anna is wearing the dress at the Gotham Awards. She's posing on the red carpet when she notices another woman posing and people are cheering louder for the other girl. The other girl is a lot younger than Anna and she comes up to her and says, I'm a huge fan, and they're nominated for the same category. The girl's like, oh my gosh, 90-year-old me is pinching myself because she met her. She's like, where's your dress from? And Anna says it's archival, it's Madonna's old dress. And the girl's like, I'll have to YouTube it. I wasn't born at that time. The Paps ask for a picture together and they're like, 2 generations colliding. So Anna just feels old at this point. Inside the award show, the movie exec asks Dex, how does your wife keep getting hotter? And Saban's like, the real question is, how do you keep trivializing the work that she does and just focus on her looks? She literally saved your film. And the man is like, this is why everyone in Hollywood is terrified of Saban. Then he asks Anna how the stalking situation is going. Anna's like, how did you know? And Dex asks Saban if she told him. Saban's like, I barely know this guy. No, I didn't tell him. He says he heard something happen at the Andy Cohen show when she had to pause. Anna's like, I don't want to get into it. I'm fine. And she's like, don't effing placate me. Like, don't get me mad. And she excuses herself and goes to the restroom, and Saban gives the man the death stare. Anna goes to the bathroom and notices the zit on her chin is getting bigger. One second, there's all these other women in the bathroom. The next second, there's just this lady. And she's like, oh my gosh, Anna, I'm a big fan of yours. She shakes Anna's hand and is like, sorry, I'm sweating. Anna's like, it's nice to meet you. Then she turns around and continues looking at herself in the mirror. And she starts like peeling off the skin by the zit on her chin. The fan is so creepy. She's standing behind Anna being like, are you so nervous? Anna's like, I'm fine. And the lady's like, you don't look like it. And she's like, sorry, I'm so awkward. I always say the wrong things. The woman points out that they're wearing the same shoes. And she's like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture? We're twinning. Anna's getting nauseous and she's like, excuse me. She goes to the toilet to throw up. The lady comes behind her in the stall, holds her hair back and holds her stomach. And Anna's like, get the F away from my baby. She pushes her. The woman's head hits the sink and she falls on the floor. A man is knocking at the door asking if Anna's in there. And she's like, don't come in here, because there's literally a woman on the floor, probably dead. And he's like, your category is up next. So she leaves the bathroom. When she sits back down, Saban asks her if everything's okay. And Anna's like, yeah, I just had a makeup emergency. Anna wins the award and goes up to make her speech. But then she hears a slow clap from one person. She looks up and the woman who was laying in the bathroom is now sitting there clapping. Then she takes a second glance and Miss Preacher is sitting right there with like a bloody mouth. Then Anna looks over at Dexter. He's looking at her and then he kisses this mystery woman. It kind of looks like it might be Sonia from the back of her head. Then he looks at her again and kisses his dead wife Adeline. And Anna starts throwing up some black stuff. Then the women that Dexter was kissing are gone and him and Saban are just kind of freaking out. Anna's still throwing up and she sees a woman going into the restroom and she's like, don't go in there. Anna wakes up. They're by the bathroom and she's like, where's the woman by the bathroom? And the doctor and Dexter are like, there's no woman. What are you talking about? And then they sedate her even though she doesn't want it. In the next scene, Anna wakes up next to Saban. She's singing Rockabye Baby to her. The episode name is also Rockabye. Anna's like, is my baby okay? Saban says, everything is fine. You just need to rest. The baby is okay. She asks Saban if the paramedics saw anyone in the bathroom and Saban says that they said that she was probably just hallucinating. In the next scene, Anna and Dexter are dodging the paparazzi and they get in the car and drive to the Hamptons. Dex says his mom's weekend place is on the way and Anna is kind of surprised. She's like, oh, I didn't know your mom lived here. I didn't know we'd be so close to her. And Dex is like, she won't bother us here. And Anna's like, have you met your mom? And he's like, she loves you. And Anna says, I know, I'm sorry. So it looks like she's not a big fan of her mother-in-law, but then Anna just holds her stomach on the car ride there. Then they get to the Hamptons. They're staying at Dexter's friend Talia's house. She introduces them to a 24/7 security guard named Kamal who's going to take care of them while they're there. Later, Talia leaves. Anna and Dexter are having dinner in the house. Dexter's like, should we invite Kamal for dinner? And Anna says she already asked him and he said no. And they jokingly wonder if the house is bugged and if Kamal can hear them. Anna's saying that the house is so exposed and it's funny that they went here to escape, but the house is literally made out of glass. Then he mentions the saying about how people live in glass houses. And Anna's like, why is Talia letting us stay here? And Dex is like, well, she makes a lot of money, and if you make a lot of money, wouldn't you want to help your friends out? And she's like cutting her steak, so she's like, I need to get a sharper knife. In the knife drawer, she finds an old picture of Talia, her girlfriend Theo, Dexter, and his ex-wife who is dead, Adeline. She's kind of just staring at the picture, and Dexter's like, is everything okay? Anna's like, yeah, everything's fine, and she just puts the picture underneath the drawer and takes the knife and goes back to dinner. Later, Dexter is asleep, but of course, Anna is awake and she hears a noise. And she also hears like whispering sounds, so she goes downstairs to check it out. I could never. I would have woken him up so fast. She sees Kamal, the security guard, and he's like, Miss Alcott, can I help you? She says, I thought I heard a noise coming from the basement. And he's like, well, we don't have cameras down there, so why don't I go look? Kamal goes down to the basement to look, and Anna follows him, but he doesn't see anything. Anna thanks him for checking. The next day, Anna is doing yoga, and she feels a sharp pain in her lower back. So the instructor gives her this pillow to use and asks if it's helping. Then the instructor says, if anything is wrong, your body will tell you. In the next scene, Kamal is driving driving Anna. I'm not sure where they're going, but she's in pain and Kamal hears her. So he's like, are you okay? He turns around and sees that she is bleeding. So he's like, I'm taking you to the hospital. In the hospital scene, she's making a call. She's probably calling her husband Dexter, but it's giving her a busy signal and nobody's answering. So of course she gets kind of frustrated. She's also still picking at the zit on her chin. Then the nurse comes in. She introduces herself as Nurse Ivy. As you can see, it's the character played by Cara Delevingne, who Anna has seen multiple times now. So Anna's like, do I know you? And the nurse is like, I don't think so. Anna says, you look so familiar. And Ivy says, I just transferred. Anna's like, you transferred from the city? And Ivy's like, no, from Toronto. She congratulates Anna on being pregnant and she's like, how far along are you? Anna says she's 12 weeks. And the nurse Ivy's like, I see that you have some lower back pain and bleeding. She said, I want to do an ultrasound with your permission. And Anna says, of course. So the nurse is like, you're going to feel some pressure. And Anna is definitely uncomfortable. She asks if she can see the screen too. And the nurse is like, one moment, please. Anna asks her if she hears a heartbeat. And the nurse is like, I need quiet to perform this ultrasound. And she pulls out the little ultrasound device. It's all bloody. And then Ivy says, I'm going to go find a doctor. And she leaves. The next scene is so heartbreaking. Anna is miscarrying her baby in the restroom. Then she has these visions of her and her baby. And the song Rockabye Baby is playing. It's all really heartbreaking. She wakes up in the hospital. The zit seems to be even bigger now. The doctor asks how she's feeling. And Anna is crying and says, I lost my baby. The doctor is like, I'm so sorry. I know how painful this is. She looks at Dexter and she's like, where were you? He says, I'm sorry. I had my phone off. I was taking a nap, but he was kind of stuttering. She asks the doctor why miscarriages happen and he says there's no direct answer, but he does say that most miscarriages are a result of an undetected abnormality. He says it's not her fault and Anna asks him what the sex of the baby is. Dex is like, Anna, but she's like, no, I want to know. And the doctor tells her that it was a boy. Then the doctor tells her that he needs to do an ultrasound and she's like, I already had one. But then he's like, Dr. Hill said that your last ultrasound was 3 weeks ago. And Anna says, no, I had one here earlier with the nurse. The doctor's like, what did the nurse look like? Anna said she was young, in her 30s, brownish hair. The doctor says, Miss Alcott, this is a small community hospital. There is no Nurse Ivy here. And that's how the episode ended. I feel like this episode was like 5 episodes in one. There's so much that happened and it was really emotional. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'm really liking this season. It's really hard to watch, but it's good. Also, follow me for more recaps and celebrity and entertainment news.